everyone, and welcome back to the F1 Ultimate Career. Today's episode we have the Indian Grand Prix, the second instalment at this new track. Only 4 races to go in the season and Lewis Hamilton is 58 points ahead of Fernando Alonso. So if Lewis Hamilton wins today, gets fastest lap, and Alonso comes 8th or lower, Lewis Hamilton will be a 2-time world champion. So Lewis, if he doesn't win this weekend, then the championship will go to Abu Dhabi, where he could much more easily close it off. And it's also close to being cut off in the constructors. If McLaren get 24 or more points than Ferrari this race, then they will also win the constructors championship. So there's a lot at stake this weekend. Let's see what happens. Alright, second lap in the books. A little bit of an improvement perhaps. Tiny improvement. Only 5,500 got there in the end. So it's good enough for P4. But we're still nearly a second and a half away from Perez, who is going very, very fast in that Force India. They've got the backing of the whole country here, don't they, Force India? And they've got their home favourite, Karun Chandok, who's up there in P5. So fair play to them. Yeah, we're absolutely monstrous on this big, long straight here. The first sector with purple, but yeah, we've kind of compromised in the middle to last sector of those. So
temperatures are looking really good.
Yeah, it should be good for overtaking, but we're going to have to do a lot of defending in the middle of the lap as Alonso making his way around on his out lap. So yeah, probably back into the pits. I'm not sure if we're going to need to go out again in qualifying here, so fingers crossed. Oh my God, what was that? Can we get a replay of that? What the hell was that from Petrov up ahead? I was on my flying lap, was trying to find a gap. Wait, I mean, that doesn't really show it, but you guys saw it. Petrov moved into my line. That is abhorrent from the Russian driver. Obviously, I have my DRS open. Oh my God, how close was that? Oh my goodness. I'm also very lucky as I have my DRS open, and the DRS doesn't like being open when you're turning, so I think that's gonna... I was trying to come out again. We've been knocked down to P10 now, so yeah, I wanted to come out again and kind of solidify my place in this session, kind of get my eye in as well, because I don't have a lot of experience at this track. So yeah, these are fresh tyres as well, so hopefully they're not ruined. But we're going to go again, and hopefully we don't get impeded. Right, this is much better. One more corner to go. Can we get it right? Yeah, that was pretty good actually. Okay, up to the line. It is going to be an improvement.
That's put you into 7th, 4th row of the grid.
Lovely. 5/10 found. That's good enough to get up to P7. So yeah, only kind of checker flags just about to come out now, so we should be more than safe to get into Q2.
That's the session over. Continue your flying lap. This is your last chance to get a good time.
Why has Maldonado come out? What's the point?
Good work. We're through to the next session.
Nice one. There we go. P7 in the end. Yeah, very nice. Although we were a second off of Robert Kubica again, flying in qualifying. And he's really getting to grips now with his new machinery. But obviously it's quite late on in the season, is it? But anyway, it's good to see him towards the front. Both Force India's 2nd and 4th, very well done from them. But let's see who hasn't made it through. It's Vitaly Petrov, 3,000 behind his teammate in that Lotus. So yeah, I think Vitaly does kind of deserve it for nearly ruining, well, ending my career basically on the main straight. So a bit of a chicken karma there for Vitaly Petrov. I'm really sorry, that was terrible. But he joins the rest of the back markers there. Grosjean ahead of Turvey. Then it's 2 HRTs close to Felipe, and then Bird and Bianchi right at the back. Wow, a thousandth of a second between Felipe and Bird there for 22nd and 23rd. But it's the top 17 that we care about. Let's go to Q2.
Okay, back to the pits, we've lost the front wing.
Oh, what a horrific session that was. I'd set a banker lap on the set of tyres that I used in Q1, and then I've just come out and I was greeted with that. I was concentrating, so I wasn't talking, no comms, but yeah, I'm absolutely fuming with that. So, yeah, got no front wing, I've got a puncture, and there's only 3.5 minutes left to go. So I think that my qualifying is over. So looks like P17 here. I don't know what happened. I think Webber, I don't know, was he having some sort of mechanical failure, or he had a puncture or something, and Rosberg had ploughed into him and lost his front wing, and then just started on collecting at the first turn. So yeah, we've been a victim of that. I got the DRS open way too early, and I span out and into the wall. So luckily I didn't lose a wheel, but getting a puncture is just as bad. So we're going to have to come in. There's going to be a repair time, and we're not going to be coming back out in this Q2 session. So that's it. Very disappointing. It's going to be P17 for tomorrow's Indian Grand Prix.
Today could have gone better for us. That's 17th on the grid. Unlucky.
Yeah, my excuse my bank lap. It was really bad. 3 seconds off the pace. Yeah, really disappointing there. P17, that's my worst qualifying in a while. I think since Hungary, where I've qualified 18th. I think so. I think that's right. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, really poor. I don't think I was really going to get much further up on that new set of tyres. So yeah, it is what it is. At least we'll have a fresh set for tomorrow. But my teammates made it through, which is good. We've joined the rest of the Tier 3 teams here. Both Williams drivers out, both Force Indias and both Toro Rossos. So yeah, Maldonado very close to beating Nico Rosberg, but yeah, it is what it is. Obviously, Nick Heidfeld back in that second Mercedes. He's replaced Nico Hulkenberg probably for the rest of the season. But it's Sebastian Vettel leading the way in Q2 ahead of both the Ferraris. So it's going to be close in Q3, but like I said, we're not going to be taking part. So I'll see you guys in the paddock for tomorrow's race. Alright guys, welcome back here in New Delhi for the Indian Grand Prix. 30 laps up ahead around the Bud International Circuit. We're here in 17th place. Let's take a look at the grid after Q3. You can see Jenson Button is on pole ahead of Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton right up there where he needs to be in P3. Then we've got the 2 Red Bulls, Vettel ahead of Webber, Felipe Massa, my teammate, up in P6. He's ahead of Kubica, which is pretty impressive. Heidfeld on his return in 8th, and Raikkonen and Rosberg occupying the 5th row of the grid. Let's take a quick look at the strategy. It's a 2-stop for us today, but I've gone cautious with the race fuel strategy because I want to run a lot of this race in rich mix. I think that's going to help me out today. The very aggressive 2-stop. People are probably going to be on the 1-stop, but hopefully we'll have the pace on the fresh tyres throughout the race to make some moves. And we know we're strong in the first sector, so yeah, hopefully we can make a lot of good, decent ground at the start and then go from there. But it could be quite tough for us today to get into the points, but we'll give it a shot. And yeah, that's all we can do. Alright, yeah, well, with no further ado, let's get going for the Indian Grand Prix. Okay, let's see what we can do from 17th on the grid today. Let's have a good start, make a lot of moves, and then try not to fall down too far afterwards. As here we go. Tony Ricciardo up ahead of us. Decent enough start. Let's try and not lose any positions as I see Petrov down my inside. A little bit of contact. I think that was behind me as Maldonado running wide and Alguersuari forcing me off the circuit, but we're okay. We're up into P16. A little bit of carbon fibre on the floor as we head into T2. Is that as Duresta? What was he thinking? Cutting across me, and a little bit of a sidepod glitch there as he connected with my front wing, and that was him off into the gravel. So we've actually only made up one position there as Petrov ripped the wards. I don't think that's even a word, but here we go, down inside of Daniel Ricciardo perhaps. Let's see if we can get this move done. Got the rest of our curves here. Come on. Have we even got the grunt down the straight to get past him? Around the outside of Ricciardo. Don't really want to do that here, but it's going to have to stay P16 for now. But it's not the best start. Was hoping for a little bit more from that, but couldn't do a lot about Duresta just flying right in front of me. So yeah, anyway, P16. Let's try and not get dropped too quickly, and we got a lot of fuel to play around with here. I think it's time to go into Rich Mix. The slipstream of Daniel Ricciardo here. This should be a pretty textbook move around the Australian and up into P15. We really need to not get disconnected from the peloton up ahead of us. Little cycling reference for you there. But yeah, up into Rich Mix now. And can we press on to try and catch back up to Petrov up ahead? Only 1.7 seconds is the gap, but yeah, we need to make sure that we don't get dropped by these guys, because they're just going to start a DRS train and just pull away. So it's very important that we catch up. Let's try and stay on the grey stuff though. Oh, that's a nice move from Perez up ahead to get past Pastor Maldonado, who himself was trying to get past Raikkonen. I've joined onto the back of this little DRS train now as I think it's Chandok in P10 holding us up a little bit here. So yeah, it's alright for saving fuel and saving my tyres, but that wasn't the strategy, was it? The strategy was to try and go as quick as possible. Oh my god, I've got some grass on my tyres, loads of understeer. I hate that corner. That really long right-hander there. Horrible. I hate that corner as well. There's a lot of corners that are pretty bad on this circuit.
We're only a second away from the car ahead. Let's see if we can use DRS to pass it.
Let's just try and stick with these guys. That's the strategy at the moment. We're much quicker than the two Toro Rossos behind us.
Showing that the car ahead is likely to be running in fuel conservation mode. His times will be slightly slower than normal. Okay, you're in his dirty air. You've lost some front end grip.
Okay, somehow we got a run on Petrov here, using the DRS, using the curves to get past the Lotus there. Wasn't really expecting to make a move. Wasn't really planning on doing it, but we're ahead of him.
The car ahead has a small amount of damage to his front wing. We don't think it's affecting his performance.
Okay, well Maldonado's got some damage, probably. Well, at the start of that, oh my god, so slow through there. Car feels horrible in this middle sector. Maybe I took a little bit too much downforce out of the car, but now I really need to get back up to Maldonado, otherwise they're just going to all drag each other along with the DRS. So yeah, back into Rich Mix. We need to catch these guys ahead.
We think that Grosjean is due to pit soon. He should be pitting within the next 5 laps.
Okay, well, it was my lap to come into the pits, but I think I'm actually going to revert back to a one-stop. I got given a one-stop initially by my team, but I didn't think I would have a lot of pace in this race, but actually keeping up with these guys ahead. I know they're midfield runners, but I didn't think I'd be this much quicker than them, so we're going to keep going on the one-stop. We're going to come in around lap 11, lap 12 instead. Hopefully these tyres hold on for that long, but yeah, we'll see what happens as Maldonado looking at a move on Chandok up ahead, who's been passed by his teammate, and there's Bianchi already a lap down on lap 9, so not sure what happened to him. I did hear some contact at the start of the race, so that might have been him losing his front wing, but yeah, all these guys are going to continue fighting. We can save some fuel, save some tyres behind them, but we can really go on the attack once we get a set of primes on. But a couple of laps until that's going to happen. Oh, are we going for it? We're going for it. We're going for it. Maldonado left the door open again. Wasn't really planning on doing that, but yeah, we're taking the opportunity. Chandok's taking the opportunity to get back past his teammate. They're just slowing each other up, aren't they? These two Force Indians as Raikkonen driving on down the road. But yeah, P13 now. Made a nice little overtake. God, stay on the track, mate. I don't know what Andy's yapping about, but certainly not important. Alright, one more lap to go until our pit stop probably, but slowly making progression in this race. This is going to be another move here on Sergio Perez this time for P12. Running down the back straight with him as we're both catching up to Chandok, but we're going to have the inside line, and that's going to be another easy overtake. A lot of well, that corner and that straight is bearing a lot of fruit. Maybe it was the right choice to take off some downforce, because I've really not been suffering too badly in this middle of the last sector. I was at the start of the race, but not so much anymore. But we could be up into P11 now, but then there's obviously a big gap to the top 10, so the next stint will be very important. But let's see if we can get past Chandok before our pit stop. Right, Masses in for his pit stop. No, that's Felipe, Andy. It's been a whole year now, basically, and you're still calling him Sergio. Yes, I'm quite aware, Andy. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, I was going to do the contrary to whatever Felipe did, so if he stayed out, I would have come in, and vice versa, obviously. But we stayed out. Chandok has elected to stay out as well, even though he was the leading Force India, but we're going to get a very, very easy move. DRS overtake onto Karun Chandok, our old nemesis there. And we're up into P5. Obviously not a net P5, but a net P11. So now the race is on. Can we catch Raikkonen and the rest of them in the top 10? We're going to be coming into the pits at the end of this lap. Oh god, very tentative through here. I think the tyres have finally given up. Yeah, let's see where we stand after the pit stops.
Be careful not to drive over the white line when coming out of the pits, or you'll get a penalty.
Oh wow, have we actually done the overcut on these guys? Heifeld and Raikkonen right here, so actually we've actually rejoined in P9 here. Don't lock up into this corner. Oh my god, Heifeld, what are you doing? Is that my fault? Let's have a look. Can we get a good angle? These replays are so bad, aren't they? I mean, I go wide. I do go wide, but do I cut him off? Do I cut Heifeld off? I don't know what you guys think, but I think that's his fault. I know I go wide, but it's not like Korea where I rejoined the track unsafely in front of Vitaly Petrov. This is not the same. I've stayed on track, I've gone wide, I've made a mistake, but I haven't cut him off. He hasn't like contemplated the fact that I've made a mistake, and he hasn't let off the gas. So, I've got a penalty!
You've been given a drive-through penalty for unsportsmanlike.
Are you serious? I've just... Oh my god.
We think the car behind is running on full revs. He's trying to close the gap.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, well, the game clearly doesn't agree with me. You guys let me know in the comments what you think of that, but that has ruined my race now. So, yeah, don't really know what to do. Do I just retire? Oh man, I'm fuming. I don't think that deserved a penalty, but yeah, you guys will let me know if you think it does. As there goes Raikkonen. What's the point of even fighting this guy? My race is over now.
The track is clear. Track is clear.
So, all that progress we made throughout that first stint has been completely undone. As we're down back into 16th place. I think Heidfeld must have retired after that, so yeah, I mean, sorry, I guess. I don't think that was really my fault. But yeah, the game has thought otherwise. My luck with the Stewards has certainly run out. So yeah, P16 now. I think our race is kind of over, but we'll carry on. Never give up.
We're 5 seconds down on Vern.
Yeah, it's over.
Your front wing. If you can nurse the car back to the pit, we'll fit a replacement.
Yep, it's over. It's over.
Puncture. You have a front left puncture. Pit, pit, pit.
So fresh prime tyres, but still can't stick to the track.
Don't forget, pit in this lap.
So yeah, I'm done. I'm not. There's no point continuing. I know I just said never give up, but yeah, I'm done. And there we go. That's the Indian Grand Prix. What sort of terrible luck did I have in that race? Seems that my luck has run out this season, and yeah, this is definitely one to forget. I think that's my first retirement of the season, if I'm not mistaken. Or did I retire in Monaco? No, I retired in Monaco, didn't I? Yeah, second retirement of the season then, and yeah, let's swiftly move on. Jenson Button, though, has won this race from pole to the checkered flag, so well done to him. It's a McLaren 1-2 actually, so they are one very big step, well, one very small step away from the World Constructors' Championship this season, and Hamilton gets another 6 points away from Alonso. So yeah, it does go to Abu Dhabi for the Drivers' Championship. Sebastian Vettel back on the podium for what seems like an age, so well done to him. Fernando Alonso leads his Ferrari teammate Robert Kubica in 4th, Mark Webber in 6th place, Nico Rosberg 7th. Then we have 2 Lotus cars, Raikkonen and Petrov. Good recovery from 18th to finish in 9th place. Pastor Maldonado again finishing in 10th place. I'm not sure what's happened to my teammate there, but he's finished down in P11. Then it's Sergio Perez in P12, the lead of Force India this weekend, ahead of his Indian teammate Karun Chandler. Then it's Paul di Resta, Jaime Alguersuari and Daniel Ricciardo finishing out the midfield. Then it's Oliver Turvey, Grosjean, Sam Bird, Felipe Bianchi and Danny Close, the last of the finishers. And for some reason it's put me as 24th, and apparently I didn't set a lap in that race, and neither did Heidfeld, so not sure what's happened there. But yeah, 2 DNFs today, and we're one of them. Yeah, pretty poor. Pretty poor. Anyway, let's move on and on to Abu Dhabi next weekend. Let's have a look at the standings after today's dismal race. Alright guys, here are the standings after today's disappointing Indian Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton is 64 points ahead of Fernando Alonso and is, 71 ahead of Jenson Button. So if those two are still mathematically still in this title fight, but they both need to destroy Hamilton next time in Abu Dhabi if they even want a sniff of winning this Drivers' World Championship. A long way behind the top 3, but only 2 points ahead of his teammate Sebastian Vettel, who's made up 2 places, who himself is only 4 ahead of Raikkonen, who's 4 ahead of Kubica, and who is 2 ahead of me now. I'm down to 8th after my DNF today. No other movement in the driver standings, but there is movement in the constructors. Let's start with McLaren though, who are 131 points ahead of Ferrari. So even if McLaren score 1 point in Abu Dhabi, they will win this Constructors World Championship. Red Bull getting further and further away from Lotus each weekend, which is important for them and also important for Mercedes after Rosberg's P7 today, back ahead of us. 2 points in it though, very close leading into these last 3 races. Well, if you look at that, Button's got a complete clean sweep of India. Well done to him. He's in some very good form at the moment, and an outside shot at the title, but I think that his teammate Lewis Hamilton has nearly got two hands on it, and he can win it in Abu Dhabi next time out. Let's make sure we bounce back as well. We need to start competing with Mercedes now properly if we want to beat them to P5 in the championship. But if you did enjoy today's race, please leave a like and subscribe. If you want to join us for the last 3 races, next time out we'll be going to Yas Marina for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I'll see you guys there. Take care.